All right, y'all. So this is a homework question. This is question number 2 out of 6.7. And we got a couple of things here. So it says that f of negative 8 is equal to 1, and f prime at 8 is equal to 7/5. So it says let f inverse of x be the inverse function of f of x. We want to find the derivative of the inverse function at 1. Okay, so y'all, all I did is I kind of went back to my notes. I have that inverse function theorem right here. So I want you to notice, I'm just going to look at this piece right here, okay? So this piece says, if I'm looking for the derivative at x, right, the derivative of the inverse at x, excuse me, it should be 1 divided by f prime of f inverse of x, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a little stare and compare. I'm going to look at what I have right here, and I'm going to look at what I have right here. So we're trying to find the derivative of the inverse at 1, okay? So all I'm really doing here, y'all, is instead of me having an x, I have a 1. So I'm going to say, look, this should be 1 divided by the derivative of the inverse function, okay, at 1, okay? So first thing I know is, just by definition, y'all, if my function at, man, I'm kind of running out of room. If my function at negative 8 is equal to 1, then by definition, the inverse at 1 would be equal to negative 8. Okay. So what that's telling me is that this number here is going to be negative 8, right? Now, we also know that the derivative at negative 8 is equal to 7/5. So this is going to give me 1 divided by 7/5, right? But remember, how do we divide fractions? We multiply by the reciprocal, so that's going to give me a 5/7. So right here, y'all, I have my 5/7, okay? So now we got the first part. Now it says, let's find the equation to the tangent line at the inverse at x is equal to 1. Okay, so we know in the inverse function, when x is equal to 1, the y value is equal to negative 8, and we just found our slope, right? So guys, all I'm going to do here is I'm going to say y minus y1 equals m x minus x1, right? And I know that my m is 5, 6. I know that's my x1, and I know that's my y1. So I'm going to say y minus a negative 8 equals 5/7 x minus 1. And this becomes y plus 8. That's a 5/7 with an x, minus another 5/7. And if we subtract 8 on both sides, okay, those are going to go away. So 5/7 with an x, I can think of that as being over 1. Okay, so I'm going to multiply this by 7. I'm going to multiply that by 7. So that's 5/7 minus 8 and 7 is 56/7. So this should give me y equals 5/7x. Minus 5 and minus 56 should be a minus 61 all over 7. And there's my answer. And what I have right here, y'all, oops, let me see if I get my pen going again. Okay, what I have right here is exactly what I would write right here. So 5/7 with an x minus 61/7.